if the money can be printed and controlled by whether it's a government, a corporation, someone else, they can debase it. They can make it worth less. The more they print of it, the more that they're weakening the actual money itself, right? And another way to think about all this, given all this context, is if a government can print money, they're printing time and energy, right? You had to work really hard for your money. They didn't have to work at all. And when a government can print currency and debase the currency and make the currency weaker, by proxy, my main point is they're making you weaker, right? Because if your money is a reflection of all your life's work and they're able to make your money worth less, they're able to make you worth less and your life worth less. You get less housing, less gas, less clothes, less vacations, less education. You're going to be able to afford to have less children, less family. So by them making, it's one thing to say, yeah, my government's been printing a lot of money, but they said it's because of war. They're making you worth less. Okay. So
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. In this video, Strike CEO Jack Mallers will talk about corporate lobbying threatening a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve and whether the U.S. should embrace digital assets. Plus his viral dollar XRP and Ripple comments, crypto regulations, Deepseek AI, and market volatility. Let's catch him up to know more.
how can I own something that no one can debase? Effectively, I want to contribute to this world, and I don't want anyone to take that value away from me. I don't want anyone to make me worth less. I want to make sure that the work I put into this world and the value I contribute to people around me, I want to make sure that I can get the same amount of housing and the same amount of clothes and the same amount of education. And if I want to have 10 kids, I can finance my ability to have 10 kids. And to me, that's what Bitcoin solves for. And we can get into the proof of work and all of the nuances involved in that. But from the highest level possible, Bitcoin's the only monetary unit in the history of our species that is literally fixed, finite. You cannot make more of it. If we wanted to find more gold, we can. If McDonald's wanted to make 8 billion cheeseburgers for everyone in the world, they can. If Apple wanted to make 8 billion iPhones for everyone in the world, they can. With more demand comes more supply. And so the really difficult thing as humans is how can we engineer something that is fixed, finite? You can't make any more. And if we're able to do so, the main use case for it is making it money, because we all want to contribute value to those around us and make sure that no one can take it from us. And so when I see something like Ripple, this is a company that prints it at will and that allocates it to themselves. Natalie, everyone that owns Bitcoin has had to contribute time and energy to get it, whether it's just through mining, literally, or whether it's through doing real work in the real world and providing real value to people. Like Michael Saylor, in my opinion, has done some form of synthetic mining. That guy's contributed his whole life to building MicroStrategy, becoming an expert in his craft, understanding financial engineering. He's put in how many hours, do you think, to be the man he is today? And so the Bitcoin he's earned has been a lot of time and energy. Now, it's not Bitcoin mining time and energy, but it's still time and energy that the world can consume and value from him. Now, let's take Ripple, for example. When they printed 100 billion XRP and gave it to themselves, how much time and energy and value did they give to you and I? Zero. And that's the fundamental problem I have. Now, whether you value Ripple for some smart contract settlement layer thing is entirely different, and we won't get into that. But the mere point of like a neutral money that requires time and energy to own and that no one can make more of is what we all want. And that, in my opinion, is the highest level difference in why anyone that's like, wait, what is Bitcoin? Why would I value it? It's the thing that you can trade your time, energy, work, effort, and labor for that no one can make more of.
Robert Kiyosaki, the renowned author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has once again voiced his concerns about the financial markets, calling the current downturn a brutal crash. Bitcoin, alongside stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, and silver, has taken a massive hit. The market collapse has shaken investors, with many witnessing billions wiped out in liquidations. Bitcoin alone plunged over 7% in just a day, dipping from $99,350 to $92,500 before slightly recovering to $95,480. Despite the panic, Kiyosaki sees an opportunity in the chaos. He believes that the best assets in the world, including Bitcoin, gold, and silver, are now on sale, presenting a golden chance for investors to build wealth. Drawing from past experiences, he recalls how he capitalized on the 2009 financial crisis by acquiring commercial real estate at bargain prices, later turning significant profits. He encourages investors to take advantage of the current downturn, calling it the best time to get rich. The crash was exacerbated by new trade tariffs imposed by the U.S. government on Canada, Mexico, and China, sending shockwaves through the crypto and financial markets. This led to over $2 billion in crypto liquidations within a day as traders scrambled to exit high-risk assets. Major cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, XRP, BNB, and Dogecoin also suffered steep losses, with declines ranging from 11% to 18%. Despite the market turmoil, Kiyosaki remains optimistic. He insists that downturns create millionaires and that those who act wisely during times of crisis can reap huge rewards in the long run. While fear dominates investor sentiment, history has shown that such moments often lead to the biggest opportunities.
When I see something like Ripple lobbying privately as a for-profit corporation to undermine this idea of a positive announcement that's in the best interest of the people, in the best interest of the public, that's changing the tide of the last century of American economic announcements and monetary policy against the public, against the people, and really changing the momentum in our direction as a country and the leader of the free world. Ripple is bringing us back to all of the awful announcements that are against the best interest of the public that I just walked us through, right? This is private lobbying acting as innovation, acting as a public good and service. But what is it? Ripple printed 100 billion XRP tokens, gave it to themselves, and the distribution to the people is by them selling it. You know, people say, well, Michael Saylor's lobbying for Bitcoin. Why can't Ripple lobby for Ripple? Well, Michael Saylor has bought $30 billion worth of Bitcoin. He thinks Bitcoin's a good idea for him, and he wants America to think the same. Ripple has never bought Ripple. They've only sold it. If XRP is so good, why don't you buy any? Why do you keep selling it? So this is a private corporation that's created money out of thin air, that biases themselves, that wants to burden the American public to promote their self-interest. It's the same as 1933. It's the same as 1971. It's the same as 2008, hidden as a public good that's riding the coattails of Bitcoin. So my announcement was trying to give that context, give the American history that the people and the public have been the burden and the brunt of all of the unfortunate mistakes when it comes to monetary policy and economics in this country. And this is our opportunity through technological innovation, where Bitcoin's a public utility for us. And there's corporate lobbying that's trying to take that away and prioritize their interests. So that was my message. And I'm glad that it got some attention. And, Ripple, in my opinion, crossed the line. And I'm willing to die on this hill, that's for sure. Whether your company's failing, your family needs help, you can't make progress towards owning a home because inflation is too burdening to you, that's when you deeply understand these concepts. And I'm not sure Donald Trump needs to understand Bitcoin out of necessity yet. Eventually, the U.S. government will. I don't know if they've gotten there quite yet. We're clearly getting closer. But I think that's the delta between where they are today and inevitably where they understand Bitcoin like you and I do. And on the political process, I mean, I would not consider myself a lover of politics. If anything, I'd be a libertarian. But to be totally honest, I'm barely a millennial. Many think of me more as, Gen Z. And I mean, politics in my generation is so far gone. We know change is through writing code, open source code, proof of work. That's a lot of my generation. So I give that context to say, unfortunately, I think this is politics, and political lobbying and getting things through Congress is people stroke checks to career politicians. And unfortunately, that's a lot of what government has been about and will continue to be about. I mean, the incentive structure is entirely broken. these politicians don't think, they don't have a low time preference. They're not afforded that opportunity. They have to think very high time preference, very short term. I mean, practically speaking, Donald Trump has 12 months to affect the change that he's promised the people, because once you get close to midterms, it's over. And so I think they have to act extremely quickly. They have to learn extremely fast, and there's dollars being thrown at them every which way. So you're talking about short-term, high time preference decision-making. And we know as Bitcoiners, that's the opposite of what you want in building a sound, scalable foundation to build a prosperous life for society. So I think we're caught in the political game, which I don't love playing, but I will play if it's the best interest of humanity and Bitcoin, because I want Bitcoin to have the best chance to win, because I think it's the best thing for our species.
The latest tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump have sent shockwaves through the global financial markets, and cryptocurrencies have not been spared. With a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, and a 10% tariff on China taking effect, fears of a deepening trade war have gripped investors. Bitcoin, often considered a hedge against traditional financial turbulence, has tumbled to a 3-week low of $91,000, while Ethereum has hit its lowest level since September. The market reaction underscores growing concerns that economic uncertainty could derail the ongoing crypto rally. Canada and Mexico have swiftly retaliated with their own tariffs, further escalating tensions. China has taken a different approach, opting to challenge the tariffs legally, while Trump has hinted that the European Union could be the next target. This uncertain trade environment has rattled investors, pushing many to pull out of risky assets, including cryptocurrencies. The impact has been severe on memecoins, with Trump's own meme-inspired coin plummeting by 12% and Melania Trump's digital token dropping over 13%. Dogecoin, a popular retail investor favorite, has suffered a staggering 24% loss in just one day. The 24/7 nature of cryptocurrency trading meant that the sell-off began immediately after Trump's announcement, catching many investors off guard. Unlike traditional financial markets that close over the weekend, crypto markets operate without pause, making them the first to react to economic shifts. The sharp decline signals that traders are increasingly wary of the long-term implications of an escalating tariff war. Although Bitcoin had surged past $107,000 earlier in January following Trump's inauguration, the latest developments have cast doubt on whether the bullish momentum can continue. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.